At a very young age, I was molested by a male family member for years. He was an older cousin. He was in his late 20s, early 30s at the time. I was between the ages of like 6 to like 9 years old. I also was molested by a female babysitter. She was supposed to be watching me and my cousin, and she had us do some inappropriate things to her. Um, so that was a thing. That was a one-time incident, but it's an incident that it's an experience, and unfortunately, that lives with you forever, right? And then also was another incident with someone who exposed me to some things at a very young age. This last person was also a male. He was a older cousin on my sister's side of the family, and you know, yeah, he kind of exposed me to some things. Watched me. He played porn and asked me to watch him do some things to himself, and then he made me consume some things. So it was a very my childhood. Unfortunately, I lost a lot of my innocence. I really wish that, and I'm gonna talk more about that in a minute, but I just feel that damn, like I didn't even get the opportunity to just truly have the mind of a child. My mind, unfortunately, through those incidents, was plagued with a lot of sexual thoughts. Mine was very sexualized, and the crazy part about it is, um, especially I'm gonna take you guys back to that first incident that I had with that family member who was doing this on and off for years with me. I did not at the time. I really didn't know that it was that big of a problem. I knew it was an issue because he told me we had to keep it a secret. I didn't have to. I couldn't tell people about it, and it was a very underground, sneaky type of interaction. But it it was just crazy because here's the thing. There's a difference between molestation and rape, right? I was molested, but I wasn't raped, and so as you know, molestation is someone is inappropriately touching you. They are exposing themselves to you. Maybe they're hugging you and kissing you, things that are just completely inappropriate. Get sexual, but it's not as aggressive and violent as a rape, right? So growing up, even when I became a teenager, I just didn't like. I obviously knew what I went through, but I never thought it was like a huge issue until like I want to say until I was around the age of, I want to say, 26, is when I realized, holy crap, holy fuck, like I got played. Like I'm a victim. I'm a victim here, and it's because literally those incidents affected my thought process as a kid, having a very overly sexualized mind. I would even say a perverting mind. Can you imagine being a child and a pervert? Because when you're around adults, you're hoping that they do something to you, or you're looking at them in a sexualized way. That's fucking weird. But these are the thoughts that were going in my head, in my brain, because of the molestation that I was going through, because of the porn that I was exposed to at a very early age. Um, but I also, when I think about all the horrible ways that it impacted me in terms of having a sexualized mind, but it also made me kind of have trust issues. And when I tell you what I'm about to tell you, it's going to make complete sense. I had trust issues because the cousin that I told you guys about who molested me for on and off for years, he was actually married. This man, before he got married, he was in relationships with, obviously, with this person. Um, but before he was in a relationship with this person, he was known as like the. I literally remember the first time I heard the word womanizer. I remember vividly one of my cousins described this man as a womanizer. And so he was always known as the man with all the women, right? And then eventually he got married. And then he raped her. He not molested, but he actually raped her daughters because the woman that he married, she had children. Anyway, I'm telling you guys this to say, um, knowing at the time what I knew about him, like the person that he presented himself to be around other people, like he was this very he had so much charisma. He would make you laugh. He had this way of just making people feel good, and people enjoyed his energy. But behind the scenes, he was a sneaky little devil. He was raping and molesting children. Didn't matter the race. I mean, obviously that probably didn't matter either. But I meant to say didn't matter the gender. Didn't matter how close they were to him. Later found out he was raping and molesting his daughter. Okay, he was raping and molesting his grandchildren. Like I told you, he was raping his stepchildren. This man was a full-on monster. And anyway, um, I'm making this video because when it hit me, the impact that this person had on my life, like when I truly was able to really sit in the impact that it had on me, it helped me do a lot of healing and unpacking and getting rid of a lot of toxic habits that I chose to indulge in. I don't even want to say chose to, because it's kind of like I didn't choose to get molested, right? But because of that experience, I started to engage in certain things that I probably shouldn't have engaged in, or that I never would have engaged in otherwise. You know what I mean? And so for me, once I realized that a lot of the decisions that I'm making is not even genuinely what I want to do, it's not even genuinely what makes me happy. I'm doing these things because there was a spirit of homosexuality. It was a spirit of lust, a spirit of perversion that was, from him and the other people that were involved in my childhood life. They put that spirit on me. It is a spirit. It is a force, because anybody who's been molested or raped, that is a demon type of energy. It is something that takes over. It is an energy that you can't even explain. I'm trying to explain it right now, but it's something that until you experience it yourself, you don't even know what the fuck that is, right? And so once that spirit is on you, it is some implications that can affect your behavior. And so when I say it affects your behavior, I'm talking about I'm saying had, but I'm just gonna say have, but it's like trust issues. I have trust issues, and can you blame me though? Because I went from seeing somebody who, like I told you, he present himself one way, but behind the scenes he's doing this. And so on one hand, we can say it's trust issues, but I like to call it discernment, right? Because I had to learn at a very young age that you can't trust what you see, right? I knew at a young age that people can present themselves as a straight married man, I'm a family man, but behind the scenes raping little boys and little girls. So no, I don't really want to call it trust issues. It's called, I gotta gauge you. I can't just believe what's being presented to me. I have to actually take my time to get to know your character. I got to see you in different type of scenarios. What is your integrity? What do you do when no one's looking, right? So it's things like that just, on one hand, yeah, trust issues, but on the other hand, discernment, right? Another thing that I feel like those experiences kind of like affected my mind and my brain is there was a time when I literally thought I was gay. Like I thought that I was gay. I thought that, because I've experienced a man in a sexual way, he had me doing things to him. And I'll be real, it was such a, when you're a child and the way that I don't know if I should really go into the details of how he kind of, he groomed me. He groomed me a certain way. And after a while, I thought it was fun. I thought it was cool. I thought it was something to do. It was some urges and feelings that he had. Something had happened, because at first I was like, this is crazy. I didn't like it. But over time, it was something that I thought it was some energy that I was allowing things to happen. If he told me not to tell anybody, I didn't tell anybody, I would do the things. So knowing that I did the things with someone of the same gender, it makes you see it, at that time, it made me see people in the same gender as a certain way. And so I thought that shit was normal. But I was always attracted to women, I always had, before, things happened to me, I always had crushes on girls. I would kiss girl. You know how you just kind of playing house and, whatever, you kissing girls and things like that. I've always had experiences with girls. And so thankfully, I've always liked women, or girls, I should say, at that time. And so naturally, as I get up into like high school and college, I'm getting into relationships with women. I'm dating women. I'm having sex with women. But when women wanted to get super serious with me, when they would want to fall in love, when they would want to have talk about getting married, and even at the time when I thought about the possibility of me having children, it freaked me out. So that when women really wanted me deeply, I built up a wall. You know, if some women would tell you right now, "Oh, I was hard to read," or I built up this wall," or whatever, they would tell you that. They would say he was confusing, or he was a player because he only wanted to do the sexual things, or he only wanted this part of me, but then he's creeping out with other girls, or he's doing this. They would call me the player, or built up a wall, have no emotions, but really, I was in a lot of ways protecting them because I felt like I'm not man enough for them. Like they wouldn't want me. If they knew the real me, they wouldn't want me. Or I had this fear that a woman wouldn't satisfy me enough because damn, I would be wanting to go and do something with the guy. I had these fears. And it like literally costed me so much because I'm like, yo, I met some incredible women. Like I could have been married right by now. I could be a father by now. It is certain things that I could have right now that I couldn't, that I don't have. And, but I'm super grateful for my ability to assess the things that I went through and to see how it impacted me because now I've had such a spiritual awakening. Like I said, I'm really in tune, I'm really connected, where I was able to truly get that spirit off of me. Like I don't want any type of relationship, any type of interactions with men because it's just like I don't want to do that. To me, it represents a evil spirit. It represents something that I didn't choose to do, and is like something that I don't even want to do. I can't do it even if I tried, because my senses and my sensors are going off. And there's some healing that has been happening in my life. And I feel like, so I just want to pause the video right here and say something. I'm making this video because I know there's countless people who have been molested and they're probably engaging in activities. If you were a male and you've been molested by a guy, you probably think that you're gay. And so you're like, you're just having sex with mad men. You're probably on hookup apps. You're so far down the grid. Maybe some of you have called HIV. I'm not sure. But like, because you were molested, you have this spirit, or raped, whatever it is, you have this spirit on you, and you didn't take the time to do that healing or unpacking, and maybe it didn't come to you. Like I said, I'm just grateful that I had a moment. This was back in, like I told you, I was like 20. I don't know. It was like between 26 and 28. I can't really remember. A few years ago, but I had this awakening moment, and it just hit me like a ton of bricks that the things that I went through has fucked me up, and it's not supposed to be the case. Like the reason why I was unhappy, the reason why I would have mental health challenges, being depressed sometimes, or having anxiety, or like not enjoying men, like not enjoying those experiences when I like men. I would like a person may try to talk to me, we'll chat a little bit, but I wasn't feeling it, so I'm just like I would like guys try to reach out to me, and I'm like, okay, I guess, and I'm entertaining it, but then I will always like just go ghost, or like I'm cool, I'm not into that. It was always like okay, cool, I'll try, and then it will never work out because I was never committed to it. I was like, what the fuck is going on? And then I realized that there was this thing where I didn't want that, but I thought I was supposed to because of those experiences. Like my mind was deluded. My mind was thinking that I was supposed to engage in these things because of what I experienced, right? So on one hand, I was like wasting time trying to entertain guys that I never really was attracted to or never really wanted to begin with because it came from a place of hurt, and I would never in a million years trust a man because of the experiences that I went through. But I'm also not fully, a man would never complete me because I love women and I love the softness of a woman, and I love everything about women. And so kind of having that distraction there I would never feel peace with that. I always felt no level of peace when it came to that. But then when it came to women, it's like, oh, I had great women. I would like these women and I would want to be with these women. But I realized also though, at the time though, I didn't realize it. But at the time I was like I told you guys earlier, I was scared to allow them in because I felt like it was some type of it was something about me that was so fucked up and broken. But then it hit me that I can unheal the damage that has been caused as long as I'm aware. You know what I mean? I'm aware of this shit. I have been giving the child version of myself a chance. I have been tapping into and going back to the young boy that was a young boy that before he was molested, right? Before he had this over sexualized mind, I have been planting and watering the seeds of that human being. And once I started to nurture and plant the seeds of me and not the devious seeds, right? Not those that, and getting rid of that evil energy, that evil spirit that has tried to come and plague my life, and that spirit that has tried to eliminate the fact that I could have children, eliminate the fact that I could marry a woman, eliminate the fact that I could just be merry and happy and full of love. That spirit wanted that. That spirit of homosexual activity that came to me through molestation and rape wanted to change my life forever for a negative way. And I'm just grateful for God that God told me, like, no, you're better than that. You deserve to heal. You deserve to tap into the real you. And so I'm making this video to let you know that if you have been molested or raped as a kid and it has fucked up your brain, it is not too late for you to unpack the layers. Yes, it fucked you up, and that's okay. It fucked you up. But it doesn't mean that change can't be done. Because with God and with healing and with just a good level of discernment, anything is possible. There are women, I know of girls personally who are literally, they were in the street, they were strippers. They became strippers, sex workers. But they were doing these sexualized things because they were raped and molested as children. And they just thought with a very sexualized mind. They started having a lot of sexual activities at a young age. They also watched a lot of porn at a young age. They didn't see themselves, like their lens of how they viewed themselves and other people was diluted. And they didn't see themselves as wives, right? They didn't see themselves as holy women. They didn't see themselves as someone who could find pure love, because the experiences that they had were rooted in sex and aggressive sex. And when they saw men, they saw sex, and they saw themselves as maybe sluts or unworthy, right? They saw themselves as that, they experienced that, and they believed that. But you don't have to be that. Every day that you wake up, there's a new day. The sun has risen. And as long as you do that grounding work to figure out who you truly are, when you eliminate the things that, there's a lot of things that people do when they have anxiety or stress or depression, right? People are drinking like crazy, just doing a lot of drinking, smoking weed, smoking cigarettes, doing hardcore drugs, having a lot of sex, going out to all these parties and clubbing. You got to figure out, why are you doing that? A lot of times we are doing these things because we are there are some deeper issues that we're having mentally. We're trying to erase certain memories. There's some things about us that needs to be healed, but we're avoiding those things. Maybe we're unhappy and we're trying to fill a void, right? So you're doing all these things. But once you stop doing those things, once you stop indulging in all of those distractions, when you really give your time in a sober mind, right? Give that time to yourself in a sober mind to really think about your life, your past, where you want to go. You know what I mean? What is your present? Are you happy right now? If you're not happy right now, why aren't you happy? And what can you do to fix that, right? That's what happens. Those are the revelations that you make when you sit still and you sit in your mind. You can literally figure out what your inner problems are, and you can start beginning the healing process. I'll be real. The healing process won't be easy for a lot of people. It's going to be hard because you're going to have to stop doing behaviors that make you feel good, right? If you have a sex addiction because you were raped or molested, it's going to be hard to stop having that sex, not because it's hard for your spirit, But because it's hard for that piece of your mind and that physical body that's used to that pleasure when you need it, right? You're like, oh, I'm stressed out. Oh, I'm upset. Oh, I'm like depressed. Oh, I got to get that feeling, right? And so you go and you have that sex, and it's been your coping mechanism. So it's hard to, when you have a coping mechanism, it is going to be hard to kind of stop that. But you have to figure out a way to stop it and to replace it with something healthier, because once you stop that, you can truly like live your life, your whole and pure version of yourself. Because we all came into this world pure. We came into this world innocent. We came out of our mother's wombs, and we had a pure mind, and our mind was unfortunately diluted, polluted, right, because of certain experiences that we had that we didn't ask for. But once you're aware of these experiences and you realize that they're wrong, like I said, I was molested, and it was a long time. I didn't even think there was a problem with that. I didn't think it was really a problem. I was just like, okay, this happened. Like sometimes, like, and I've had conversations with people. I'm like, were you ever raped or molested? They're like, no, nope, nope. I ain't went through nothing. We're talking, we're having a conversation. But then they're telling me how they used to like do certain things with their cousins or their siblings or with their father that was inappropriate. And I'm just like, no, actually, you really are kind of fucked up. Like, you did go through stuff, but it felt normal at the time, right? Because you didn't get punched in the face, you didn't get brutally raped. So you're like, oh, I'm fine. No, maybe you're not. Maybe you're not fine. And that's okay. A lot of times people don't want to see themselves as victims. They don't want to claim nothing negative happened to them. But if something happened to you and like you're having issues trusting people, you're having feelings, having that empathy and having emotions and really tapping into your feelings, you're having issues just trusting, like I said, trusting, you're having issues with your mental health. Maybe you're depressed a lot. Maybe you have a lot of anxiety. Maybe you have a sex addiction. Maybe you're addicted to drugs. Like, yo, it is something deeper. And if it roots back to an experience that you had during your childhood, whether it's molestation, rape, or anything else, because some people have witnessed abuse, like physical abuse. They've seen their parents fight each other. They've seen gun violence. Whatever the hell you experience as a child, I'm telling you, look up childhood development. Childhood development is a thing for a reason, because the things that you experience as a child will shape who you become as an adult. And if you have experienced some horrible things as a child, you owe it to yourself to heal, truly heal, so that you can live a life that you're supposed to truly live, that is of God, that is of integrity, but most importantly, well, all those things are important too, especially God. Let me be clear. God. But peace and love. There's a certain level of peace and love that unhealed people typically do not have. If you're unhealed, if you're battling trauma, and I'm saying this from experience, that level of peace is not there. And I think that the main thing that we all aspire to have, whether we know it or not, because people are like, oh, I'm trying to get rich. I want to be rich. I want this. I want that. You want these things because ultimately you're assuming that these things will bring you peace, right? Like, you want to be rich because right now you don't have peace because you're stressed out about paying rent and paying bills, right? So you're assuming that once you get this money, it's going to bring you some type of peace. Or maybe you're single as hell and lonely and you want to be married, you want a family because it's going to bring you peace, right? We all want peace. And so as long as you're not healed, you will never know peace. So I'm making this video to tell you, please invest the time and the energy to find your peace. I'm not a victim. I have a story. And I'm going to overcome the things that I've been through, and I will have and live the life that I deserve. Because guess what? I'm going to create no one, and the things that they've done to me will have power. I am going to decide the decisions that I make, right? I'm going to decide what I like and what I don't like. I'm going to decide who I want to have sex with, who I want to marry. And no experience is going to ever, no other person, I will never give somebody else the power of that. I'm taking my power back, and so should you. I love all y'all for watching this video. I hope this inspired some of you to realize that even you can be healed. Even you can be changed, no matter how low down the gutter you went, right? Because when you go through certain stuff, you can go down in the gutter. You're like, damn, I was a prostitute. Damn, I was a sex worker. Damn, I was fucking people on hookup apps. Damn, I wasn't using protection. Damn, I caught this. Damn, I did that. Even you can be healed. You got to trust in God. You got to pray. You got to give your life to God. You got to meditate. Whatever you believe, you have got to ground yourself in the spiritual realm, because that is how you can truly believe in yourself and understand your power to do whatever. But in this case, the power to undo harm that has been caused to you. If this video was helpful for you, please like this video. If you feel like this video can help someone, if you feel like this video can heal someone, please share this video. If you guys would like for me to make another video talking about how I was able to heal, how I was able to get this level of discernment, because like I said, it wasn't always there. I was navigating life thinking that there was nothing wrong with me, but there were some things that I was doing that had helped me see things more clearer. So if you would like for me to make a video explaining things that you can do to help you with the healing process, let me know. I would definitely make that video. It's not a problem. But yeah, I love y'all for watching. Peace.
It's just real talk, and I'm holding it down. The topics are real, and the topics are pure. It's just real talk, so dig deeper with me. Sit back, kick back, and just listen to me.